Welcome back to Tackett's House of Horsepower. It's me, Steve Tackett, and we just got back yesterday from the duct tape drags. But there's no days off. No, we got work to do. So let's go. So, just to catch you up real quick, Friday morning, super early, we got on the road, took off down to Tucson from Phoenix. It's about a 2-hour drive, taking the back way. It's about a 2-hour drive. And we got on the road. We stopped at a McDonald's for a healthy breakfast. And Okie wouldn't start. That battery, it's never been the same since I killed it when the rain got into the door switch and the dome light was on all night and the battery was dead. So the car ran fine. I drove it around a few times, but it never really started. I don't know. So luckily, the night before, I stole the battery out of the 65 and I threw it in the back of the truck just to have a spare. Because I was thinking to myself, maybe that battery's going to give me a problem. Sure enough, the first stop, Friday morning, Okie won't start. We eat our breakfast, we come out, Sarah turns the key, nothing happens. So, luckily I had that battery. The new one from here, boom, switched it out. And I was thinking, uh-oh, this better not be an omen. We're going to have a bad weekend. But you know what? That was the last time we popped the hood on all three cars. The Chevelle, Okie, and Down and Dirty. Drove all the way down there, raced all weekend, drove them all the way back. That was the only time we had to pop a hood or touch tools other than swapping tires. We did swap tires on Down and Dirty. But other than that, we didn't touch tools, we didn't touch timing lights, we didn't touch anything. Like, it was that trouble-free. So we had an awesome weekend. So that being said, we got to get back to work, okay? With this 65, it needs brakes. It needs a seat. It needs seatbelt. It's got a list still. So let's get on this thing. While I'm thinking about it, since this is the battery that came out of Okie and it's been giving me some trouble ever since we killed it, it's never been the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a trickle charger on it. Now, I've heard they don't charge, you're not supposed to charge them with a conventional charger. I don't know. Do you know? Has anyone ever done it? At this point, who cares, right? I mean, if it takes a charge, we'll let it sit and trickle charge for like 24 hours. And then maybe I'll take it and throw it in here and see if it works. If it don't, then I guess I need to go buy a battery. So whatever. If it's bad, I guess it's not gonna hurt anything. And if it works, then cool, maybe I get a little bit more life out of it. I don't know. Anyways, so that's the battery situation. But all in all, it was a good weekend. Got to hang out with some friends. Got to have a good time. Got some racing done. The green Chevelle did really well. Got a 10.3 out of it. Considering how hot it was, the track temps were scorching hot. Down and Dirty did well, but there's an issue. There's an issue. Check this out. See that right there? That is a B for bogus. Can you believe Freiberger? He didn't even talk to me. He just said, bogus, keep it moving. Anyways, so I got an autographed B from Freiberger. So, whatever. But the issue with Down and Dirty is pretty simple. The transmission, if you follow this build, the build on Down and Dirty, all the videos, it has a Turbo 400 transmission that I paid a whopping $200 for from a friend of mine. And he said, running, the guy came out of his truck, his running transmission runs good. Yeah, okay. And he didn't lie. We put it in, it does work, it works fine. It runs and drives fine. The problem with it is, it's stock. It's a stock valve body. So anybody who knows will tell you a Turbo 400 with a stock valve body will shift into third gear at like 5,000 RPMs, no matter what you do. So we'd have it in first gear on the shifter, and you could launch it and it would launch hard and it would feel good. And then at 5,000 RPMs, or about 300 feet out, it goes into third gear. So it's like wah, down the track. So anyway, it's running and driving fine. It drove all the way down there. It drove all the way back, 200 miles, no problems. But for drag racing purposes, that transmission is no good. So down here, underneath that mess, is a short nose 400. And it's a good core. So I got a new tranny guy. Remember Willie? Willie took care of me on this one. So I'm wondering if I hit him up, if he can hook me up again and give me a nice, healthy shift kit, stage 2 shift kit with some clutches, a good rebuild on that one. And then maybe we switch them, and then we could see the improvement. What if we don't do nothing else to the car, just change the transmission and take it back to the track and see how it does. That'd be good. I'm sure you're probably noticing that there's a giant mess in the background. And what this is air conditioning. Yeah, it's important to have in Phoenix. And these air conditioners are all rusted out and no good, and they're garbage, because these are the original air conditioners for my house from 2004 when the house was built. So they're garbage. So today I called my buddy Kenny. He I've known him for like 25 years, 26 years, something like that. And he followed me out here from San Diego, and he has an air conditioning company. So it pays to know a guy. I know a guy. So if you are in the East Valley of Phoenix, call my buddy Kenny. He is the man. Tell him I sent you. Anyway, what are we doing today? I don't know. What are we doing today? We're doing too much talking. That's what we're doing. Oh yeah, this thing. The reason why it didn't go to duct tape drags, because we didn't finish it. Yeah. There's no seat. There's no seat belts. I never did fix these windows, the side window. But the main thing is we don't have brakes. There's no brakes. So we need to make some brake lines. When you put in fender well headers, all your brake lines are in the way. So we need to make some brake lines and fittings and all that good stuff. Stay there. Stay. And so I got some stuff and things to make brake lines to go around those headers. I don't know if I'm going to go over it or under it. I haven't decided yet. But right now, the header's in the way. We got to figure out how we want to route it and make some room. And then we're going to start doing some bending and crimping and, brake line things. All right, check it out. We got everything out of the way so we can do some work. Now I like to do something a little bit fancy here. I use basically all the stock, brake line locations and stuff. Your little question mark, on the outside that goes out to the rubber line. But on these Novas, you got these little junction blocks, and there's a left hand and a right hand side. This one happens to be the right hand side, which would normally go over there. But if you take it and you turn it and you put it in this way, you got this side going out to the driver's side wheel. You got the bottom one that'll go out to the crossover, but instead of having the inlet on the front, it'll switch it to the side. So it'll work better if I put this down there, and then instead of having the brake line coming in the front, which is going to be where the header is, I don't want that. I don't want to come in from the front. I want to come in from the side. So I'll switch it with this one, put this down there, and then if I come off my master cylinder, go down and up and over, bam. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. So let me get this wheel off. Let me get those off, the original pieces off. I'm gonna drill a hole and move it forward, and then switch it to this one. I'll show you. It's an idea. Anyways, I got an idea. Okay, I took the tire off so I can get you in here and show you what I'm looking at. Somebody has boogered this line up pretty good. It's supposed to be that question mark shaped line, and it's all kind of bent and twisted. Looks like it's homemade, I don't know. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I got that new one, but I also noticed that the header's hitting like right there. So, and I had to do this on my blue wagon. I actually took this out and drilled a hole like here and moved the brake line forward and then cut this out more. So I'll get a little more clearance for the header and get the brake lines away from it as much as possible. So let me get rid of this line. Let me get this hole moved forward. Let me cut my hole a little bit bigger, and then we'll start running our new line, you know, somewhere off of that front, come off of that, come around the back side, up, over to where the master cylinder is over there. And that should get us brakes for now. Not the greatest brakes, you know, the little single pot of death brakes, which I've used them on lots and lots of cars. And I've never had a problem, you know, knock on wood. And like my blue wagon used to run 1140s and had stock drum brakes and had, you know, the single pot of death. And I had it like that for many years. So I don't know. But I just want to get the car running. So this is what we're doing for now. We'll change it up later. Maybe do a CPP kit, put disc brakes on it and all that stuff later. But for now, to get the car running, I just got to make some brake lines and get it going. Okay, so we got it apart. I got rid of this. I don't know what happened here. That thing is, someone got creative there. So get rid of that. It's supposed to be a little guy like this. So we got one of those. Now, this is what was in there originally. And this goes out to the wheel. And the inlet was on the front here. And there's an outlet on the bottom that goes over to the line that goes underneath and crosses over to the other side. So I don't want the inlet coming in the front like that because the headers are right there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna switch it out for this. So we'll pop this in. We'll have to use the little clip guy, this little guy from the side. We'll clip him in sideways, right? Then we'll put, so that'll go out to the wheel. The one on the bottom will go over to the crossover. And then instead of having the inlet on the front, we'll have it on the side. Make sense? So then I can run my brake line instead of over here where the header's at, over here on the side, and come down and up and over, and then turn it into the master cylinder. Sound like a plan? Good. Okay, so I moved the hole over. This guy will fit over here, right there. Okay. Now I can go ahead and cut this out and down a little bit. That should give me a lot more room for the header. There's a tube right that comes right through here. So, giving it a little more space, a little more room, make things a little happier. Well, forget everything I just said. The one I wanted to use, the fitting on the bottom, is a smaller size. And I don't have adapters and stuff. And I don't want to reduce the size and then go back to a larger, that would be a restriction in the brake system. So, okay, fine. I'll put it back the way it was, and I'll just have to route, I'll put the original one back, and I'll just have to route it up instead of back, which is the way my Blue Nova was back in the day. So I'm basically gonna copy what I had back in the day. So let me do it. All right, that's looking a lot better, I think. A lot better than this. And we got a little more clearance than we used to have. This was over here somewhere. Well, how did it go? I don't know. That was over here. We moved everything that way. So now we got more room for the header. So everybody's happy. Okay, well, I never said brake lines are my forte, but there you go. I was trying to avoid having to do a 90 to a 90 to a 90 to, you know, like 5 90s, but it would have been nice if I could have came in from the side, but the header's too close. So it needs to go down into that corner and then back up. So getting it away from the headers is key. So I think that'll work. And the trick is get you a pair of these. These things, let's see, Eastwood, these little brake line pliers, you just grab it and twist and grab it and twist and grab it and twist, grab it and twist, grab it and twist. And you can put pretty sharp 90s in your brake lines without kinking it. So get you a pair of them and get you one of these. This thing is amazing. This brake line tool right here. Get you one of those. Makes perfect flares. Stick it in the little block here, tighten it down. Yoink on the handle, done. Perfect flares. So get you those and get you those. Or get you a friend named Jay who has them, and then you just borrow them whenever you need. Thanks, Jay. So I think we could try and put the header back in, and hopefully it clears everything. Because if not, we got to start all over, and I'm going to be really upset. So let's before I get too crazy, make sure the header fits. All right, header's in, and we got a lot more room here now. I like it. So before I can put this back on the ground, I want to go ahead and check these brakes, maybe adjust them a little bit, and then we can set it back on the ground and then try and bleed them. So basically on your drum brakes, when you adjust that adjuster in there, you know, you can usually reach it with a flathead screwdriver. Give that a few clicks until you feel it like starting to grab. And it should go about a turn and a half maybe when you let go of it. That's pretty good. So let me check the other side. Okay, the fronts are adjusted, and I'm here by myself. So I'm gonna have to try and gravity bleed. I'm gonna crack the bleeders loose and start filling it and see if I can get some fluid coming out of all four corners. and just try and gravity bleed it. Maybe when Sarah gets home, she can help me. But hopefully here shortly, we'll have some brakes. Okay, let that do its thing. Gravity bleeding, bubbles are coming up. The fluid's going somewhere. Hopefully it's not going on the floorboard. That'd be good. So, fluid's going somewhere. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this battery in, see if it's starting to come back around or not. Throw that battery in here, let this continue to gravity bleed, and then we'll see how it's doing then. Maybe we can take this thing around the block. I don't know, maybe it's possible. All right, well, the gravity is still bleeding. Brakes are doing its thing. I just want to come out here and check out this. Yeah, brand new AC units. You know how many car parts I could have bought with this? Huh? Do you know? You don't want to know. But anyways, I came out here because I need to go dig in the shed. There's something in the shed I need to get, and I'll show you what it is. That bad boy right there. Wow, I gotta catch my breath. You ever try to carry one of these by yourself? Oh my Lord. That thing weighs 200 pounds. Why? Okay, so what we have here is this fine piece of upholstery. Is a factory 65 Nova split bench seat. Split folding bench seat. If it was a 4-door car, it would not be split. It would be solid. And they don't fold. So, like the front seat Inoki. This came out of my buddy Jason Snyder's 65 100 series. Jason's had a few. He loves these small back window 65s. But this seat was in one of his, and he didn't want it. So he's like, "You want it?" I said, "Yeah, I'll take it. You never know. You never know when you're gonna need one." So we have a factory split bench seat. You know what I mean? So, and it was in the shed. So we got to pull this stuff out of the way here, and maybe we'll throw a seat in here. That'd be nice, because I still don't see anything. Nothing on the floor yet. So gravity's not working. Gravity's not doing gravity things. Apparently. I don't know. Maybe I have to wait for Sarah to get home to help me. So let me catch my breath, and I'll see if I can put a seat in the car. Maybe I'll do that. Still nothing coming out on the floor. So I don't know what's going on there. But, so I'm about to throw this seat in here, and I was gonna show you guys some stuff. So like, we were camping out at Duct Tape Drags, you know, me and a couple buddies and Sarah, and you know, we're hanging out, we're grilling up hamburgers, we're hanging out in the pits, we got our RV, so we're camping, and you know, we're shop talking, I guess. And we were talking about this car a lot, you know. We kind of wished it had been there. You know, it would have fit in perfect at the Duct Tape Drags. But, I mean, it wasn't meant to be. But talking with Sarah and stuff, we think that this would be a really good race car for her to start out with. I think it'll run probably a low 11 right now on the nitrous, with no nitrous, just the motor. We might add nitrous later, but either way, this car will not be legal to run faster than 11.5. And there's a couple reasons why she kind of is leaning towards this car. It's because it's ugly. It's beat up. It's not really worth anything. Like she will not drive the green car. We talked about this before. It has too much sentimental value. It's too pretty. It's got too many switches and buttons and things going on. It's too much. She's too nervous to mess with that car. But this car, it's really not worth that much. So, and it's not pretty, and it doesn't have a bunch of fancy switches and buttons and stuff. So she's more comfortable, I think, maybe driving this. So in our envision, what we picture in our minds is maybe upgrading the brakes, you know, putting at least a CPP kit on it or something, you know, gets disc brakes on it. And I was also thinking put a set of those the low carb bucket seats in here, like Down and Dirty has, and stick some buckets in here, and then do a simple roll cage, you know, at least the hoop and kickers to the front and kickers to the back. Put a basic roll cage in it with a shoulder bar going across for some harnesses. Put a bucket seat in here, or 2 bucket seats in here with harnesses, that she could drive this and race it, and she won't be too nervous about it, you know. So we're gonna throw this bench seat in today, but I don't think it's gonna stay. This is temporary. We need this car to run and drive. It has to run and drive and steer and stop and all that stuff. And there's some reasons why. I can't really go into that right now, but this car needs to run and drive and steer and stop and be able to move under its own. So I need a seat. I need brakes. We're trying to get it together. But anyways, this bench seat, I don't know, maybe we could use it in the 63. Yeah, the little 63. Maybe we'll put bench seats in that. But I think this is going to get a basic roll cage, some bucket seats. And Sarah's talking about keeping it. But check this out. Oh, you know what I noticed? There's a big old dent right there. That's the hoop in the floor right here, right? There's a big dent right here. And I've always wondered, what is that? Like, what is that from? So if you look up at that ugly roof, this is all damaged. Like, look at the structure is pretty damaged. I'm wondering if if something fell on this car, like a tree went through it or something. How did it get so damaged? The bracing, you see that? And then it's like down here on the floor, this dent. It's almost like something went through this car, like this way, you know? I don't know, who knows? But either way, it's an interesting dent right there. But anyway, let me manhandle this thing up in here and see if I can find some bolt holes and at least secure it to the floor. Look at that. That is a lap of luxury right there, okay? Look at it. You know what this needs? One of those Mexican blanket seat covers. That would be perfect for this car. Like one of those bluish green colored type ones. But yeah, let's see. Sit in there. Oh yeah. Ride it home in a 65 Nova. Perfect. Here's the shifter, perfect. Oh yeah. Here's the cockpit. The cockpit view. Well, I could take this thing around the block if I had brakes, and I don't. It doesn't seem to be going down. I don't see anything on the floor. Nothing's dripping on the floor yet. So I think I'm gonna clean up for today, and I'm gonna have to wait till I got some help to actually bleed the brakes correctly. And I don't know, I still got the trickle charger on the battery. I still got my fingers crossed on that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna clean up for today, and I'll come back at it when I got somebody to help me bleed these brakes. Good morning. What are we doing? Oh yeah. Oliver's awake. So today is the day. I think we can bleed the brakes on this thing. He wants out, okay? I'm in the garage without him. He's upset. So, this is what it's like. I tell you, he's a big crybaby. I'm not kidding. So, yes, bleed the brakes. Then, let's see if it'll go around the block. When was the last time this car moved, steered, drive, started, stopped, moved under its own power? Probably, what, 30 years ago maybe? Who knows? I don't know. But today's the day. I think we got Sarah here. I'll get her to come down, and I need to borrow her leg so she can pump the brake pedal and see if we get some brakes. There, see, you gotta let the crybaby out, or he will cause a problem. He will throw a fit. He has to be out here. Okay, let's get to work. Can I get some work done? Do you mind? Okay. Why can't you be more like Scout? Sarah's here.
Hi.
She's not happy with my upholstery, so she doesn't want to sit on that.
I don't know what has been crawling in there and where this came from.
It came from the shed.
Exactly.
Okay, so Sarah's gonna help us by bleeding the brakes.
So is Oliver, apparently.
Oliver's gonna go with her, I guess.
He is my shadow. I know.
Okay, let me get underneath the back. I always start the furthest corner from the master cylinder. So we're gonna start back here in this corner. Pump it.
I'm pumping.
Okay. Hold it to the floor.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Okay. Pump it. Hold it to the floor. I got nothing. Okay. Pump it. Hold it to the floor. I'm not getting nothing. Pump it.
Feels no different.
Hold it to the floor.
Okay.
I'm not getting nothing. Well, I got updates. The reason why we're not getting any fluid is because the rubber brake lines are collapsed. So that's good. I'm blowing air through it and nothing's coming out. So I'm gonna go get some new rubber brake lines. I thought these looked okay, but apparently it's what's on the inside that matters, or so I've been told. And these are no good. So hopefully I can throw some new hoses on it and get some fluid to the cylinders. Okay, we're going backwards to go forwards. Okay, so I took all the rubber lines off, the fronts and the one in the rear to the rear axle. The front two were definitely clogged. The rear, I could blow air through it, but screw it. I went down to O'Reilly's and went ahead and ordered all of them just so we can, start over. So I removed the old ones. Of course, they didn't have them in stock. They're on order. They should be in about 1 o'clock, they said. So I got the old ones off, and then I took my air nozzle back there to the back, and I got air coming out of the fronts. So there should be no restrictions anywhere. And we'll put new rubber lines on it, and then we'll bleed it, and then we should have brakes. that explains why it wouldn't gravity bleed, I guess. Because, yeah, there was restrictions. Anyways, so that's the updates. Waiting on O'Reilly's. Hopefully 1 o'clock will come. I'll go up there and grab them, stick them back in, and we'll be good to go. And I can bleed them. Now I'm kind of disappointed. I didn't want to spend a bunch of money fixing all the drum brakes, you know, because I'm probably gonna upgrade it later, you know, especially if Sarah wants to race this. We'll probably upgrade this and I don't know, do a CPP or a Church Boys front end on it and disc brakes. So there's probably, you know, this is kind of a waste of time, but we need this car to run and drive. So anyways, wait until 1 o'clock, go pick up my parts, and then we'll get back on it. Okay, O'Reilly's for the win. Brake hoses in hand, and Los Fobs for the lunch. Real quick, when you go to O'Reilly's, nothing comes up for a 65, but 66 has the same brakes. So got the hoses off of the 66. So, and of course picked up lunch. Anyways, let me start putting this back together, and then I'll see if Sarah can come back and help me bleed it, and maybe we'll take it around the block. Well, we got brake hoses installed, and look at this. We got gravity bleeding going on. That's good. I couldn't get that before, so that means there's no restrictions. Nothing's blocking it. So we should be good to try and bleed it now. Okay, I got my helper back. This time it's gonna work, okay?
Okay.
You have faith in me?
I always have faith in you.
Are you lying?
Why would I ever lie to you?
She's lying. Okay, pump it. Hold it to the floor. Oh, I heard it.
Yeah, so way different now.
Okay, pump it. Hold it to the floor. Oh, I'm starting to see something. That's good. Pump it. All right, hold it to the floor. There we go.
There we go.
All right, pump it. I can hear it. All right, hold it to the floor.
Yeah.
Pump it. Hold it to the floor. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'll do this to all four corners and we should be able to test drive it. Okay, we got good fluid out of all four corners and the brake pedal feels good. So there's only one thing left to do, and that's to see if that battery works. We don't know. We're gonna try and start. Hope if it starts, we're gonna hit the road. If it doesn't start, I don't know, we'll have to steal another battery. So here goes nothing. Check my mirrors. When do you think the last time this car moved under its own power?
Probably 10, 15, maybe 20 plus years ago.
10, 15, 20 plus, that's a big guess.
Well, it is a guess. We have no knowledge.
You think the battery's gonna start?
No.
I thought you had faith.
I do have faith, but I'm also realistic. Maybe I should be more positive.
We're smoking a lot off that header because I got a bunch of brake fluid on it, but it's moving. The brakes feel pretty good. Here we go. That tire's really bad. Well, there you have it. It runs, drives, steers, and stops. The front tires, they rub terribly bad.
Just a little.
But it might get better when we do a front end alignment. It might get better when we put the skinnies on the front. I'm still looking for a set of front rims that match the back rims. So I don't want to get too crazy and start cutting and folding the fender all up to fit these tires when we're not keeping these tires. So I'm happy. It runs and drives and steers and stops. For the first time in, she said 10, 15, 20, 25 years.
I don't know, a long time probably.
It's been a while.
Probably 2 decades at least.
So that's it. It's a functioning vehicle. So I feel like that's a win. So
now you can get it ready for me to race.
The list never ends. It never ends. But we just want to say thank you very much for watching, subscribing, hitting that bell, comment, any of that stuff, telling your friends. That stuff really helps us out and helps the algorithms and things and does the stuff. So we just want to say thank you and appreciate it, and
see you next time.
See you next time.